Dude?
Alright. Okay, let me get some paper for you. Show you what this is about.
Okay.
So, now these are things that tell you how I have to behave, not how you have to behave. Okay. So this is
one thing. Is this is like one-time thing when I talk to you, right? It's not like every week or.
I don't know.
Or it depends.
It depends.
Because what I was thinking of is talking to you and tell me your advice for this.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. I didn't think of like weekly going or like you get my point, right?
Yeah, I hear you. And we can negotiate that. Obviously,
no,
we'll talk.
If I need to, I'll definitely tell you that.
That's
I need to, but
That's perfect. Okay, so this bit over here, it's saying if we were doing deep, dark, scary psychological tests, we would do them properly. We are not going to do any deep, dark, scary psychological tests. I'm sure
Okay.
you guys. If we did, I'd do them fairly. I give anonymous, generalized feedback to the school. So I write a report at the end of the term saying, sorry, it was a knock here. Maybe not. I write a report saying I saw 73 DP1s and 20 DP2s, and there's a divorce and an eating disorder, but no names mentioned, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tom has asked me, so that's Tom Oden,
Yep.
if he asks me if I see a student, for me to say yes or no, but not what it's about. And the reason for that
What do you
is
mean? Yes or no?
just to tell him if I do or don't see a student. So if a
Still
teacher,
student.
yeah.
Okay.
So if he says to me, "Hey Simon, Paul's teachers are worried about him and they think he should see a psychologist. Is he seeing you?" And he wants me to say yes, he is.
Okay.
And if I say no, then he can say, "Please, will you get hold of Paul?"
Okay, so you go talk to me and you. Okay.
Yeah. So it's not about what talked about or anything. Okay. Confidentiality. What you say to me, I can't tell people, except for the following things. So listen carefully. So I start at the bottom. If you are charged with a crime, in 5 years' time you murder someone, and the judge wants to see your medical records, I have to give them, just like your doctor will.
Okay.
Are you going to murder anyone in 5 years' time?
No.
No, we should be fine. How old are you?
I was 17.
Okay, so that doesn't matter. These two over here, if from what you tell me, I'm worried that you're in danger or someone else is in danger, I have to protect you or
Or
protect
the other
them.
person, yeah.
But it doesn't mean sharing stuff that's not related to safety.
I get it.
Okay? And then I don't write your report for no reason. If you need one for court, tell me and I'll write it.
For court.
Yeah. As a psychologist, I'll see lots of people for different reasons.
No, the court isn't it like the judge?
Yes. So if you were having a divorce, or
Okay.
or if your parents are getting a divorce,
Oh, okay.
and they want me to see you to know which parents you should go to, that sort of thing.
Okay, alright.
So it won't matter for you, but if you did need one, I would write it.
Yeah.
And it's saying you've got a chance to read it, and of course you must read it word for word, that's fine. And if you have any questions, you can ask them. And then after you've read it and asked questions, if you agree, please sign for me. Okay, but before you do anything, this is what I give to everybody who comes to see me.
Yeah. Okay.
I understand though that something else happened with you, and there's so many stories that of other cases that I'm dealing with, so I don't want to confuse them. There was a photograph or something.
Yeah, there was one of the things.
Yeah, okay, so there's that incident, okay.
Okay, yeah.
So I imagine who was dealing with it? It was Saskia, Marcus.
No, Marcus.
Marcus,
I
okay.
talked to Marcus once.
Okay, so he might ask me how this went. So I want to know from you what you feel comfortable with my saying and what you don't feel comfortable with my saying. Because you'll probably ask.
Well, I feel okay if you share with other people, because it's like this thing is the way I think it is. It should be no problem sharing with other people as long as
I talk to you about it.
Yeah.
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 Perfect. Okay.
And since Marcus talked to me, I think it's logical to tell him.
Okay. Okay, so please feel free, read it word for word, and when you're happy, give it a sign.
How long have you been a psychologist?
How long have I been a psychologist? For... When did I graduate? Probably 9 years ago? 9 years? Which means that I've been doing... But remember that you study for a long time before it happens.
Yeah. And is it what you're doing like your whole career, like in school?
No, before this I was a teacher.
So teacher of psychology?
No, of English actually.
English.
And then I taught psychology, but I was an English teacher first.
Alright. So... So this link means you can access all my emails, everything.
No, not your emails. No, not your emails, not your emails. So like when you applied at the school, you have an admissions form?
Yeah, oh, with the data.
Yeah. And like your reports, your school reports, and what your teachers have said. It's not your email or your phone or anything like that.
No, I think I'm okay with it because you explained it to me, so yeah.
Good.
What date is today?
It's the 31st. It doesn't matter because I can get you here and that's perfect. Cool. Thanks very much, man. Okay, so you are Paul. You are 17. You are a day student.
Yes.
And you are originally from?
Romania.
Now, you're not allowed to judge me by my geography ignorance. What language do you speak in Romania?
Romanian.
Okay, so that's a language in and of itself.
Yeah, it's only
Romanian.
Romanian. Yeah.
But your English seems very good.
Oh, yeah, it's my third year. So I've been fourth. MIP3, MIP4, 5, maybe 2 and so.
Okay,
So I got time to learn. Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say Romanian, but English is absolutely fine.
Oh, thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Okay, so what can I do for you?
Okay, so let's start with this thing with the photo.
Yeah.
This is what Marcus talked to me about. This started kind of in autumn somewhere. There was so I think some stuff is connected one to another. So there's Vasya. He used to be my best friend the year before, and like beginning of DP1.
Okay, and Vasya.
Vasya, yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So there was one thing happening. Okay, I'm gonna go with other things as well because it's in a way related to this. There's someone else, another person who I know he didn't like me at the beginning, and I realized he hates me. And at one point, some people told me he's talking shit about me, and I was kind of okay. If he says this is his problem, people are not gonna believe whatever he says because they will see it doesn't match with me.
Okay.
So, and I knew about this. And at the beginning of DP1, I saw this thing. A lot of people who would hang out with him, and first hang out with me, or the other way around, they would have not necessarily hate me, but have a bad reaction when they see me. So what I was thinking is maybe he's doing something, since I knew the year before a lot of people told me he's saying bad stuff about me. So
is he the same year as you, also DP1?
Yeah, Yari.
Yari?
Yeah, his name. Yeah.
Okay. Where's Yari from?
England.
England.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So there was at the beginning there was what I felt like. Okay, he did this before. He might do it again, and it must be him. But at one point, it became pretty clear that a lot of other people had this reaction, and I was okay. Something is definitely going on. It's not possible to everyone. From one person, everyone is doing this. So then I thought, okay, if Vas is my best friend, I will talk to him, and if there is something, he should tell me. And he told me something in the very beginning. That was I think September. He told me that Yari said something, and I knew he said this the year before.
So he told you that who did something?
Yari. So he told me something that Yari said, which wasn't true.
Okay, I missed this. Who told you that Yari said
Vasya.
it? Oh, Vasya said. Okay. Yeah.
And then I asked around, and apparently he said that. Like I talked to Yari in the end, and he said he mentioned that a few times, but this was last year, and then he realized he was wrong, so he apologized and everything, but it didn't seem okay because I know what I saw. Like I know people talking to him, and then when they meet me, they were like okay, but there was something wrong. I'm not really sure how to explain this. But at one point, I was so sure that something's going on, and there might be more people doing the same thing, because one person can do all this. So one person can turn so many people like against you, or not against you, but like having a bad perception. I think. Yeah. So one day I was at Vasya's house, right? And I kept asking him about this and about Yari and how what's happening, and he was like, okay, there's nothing, and like at that point I was thinking he might be lying because it's obviously something. So then he showed me those photos, and he said something like, okay, look, I trust you with this. So if I trust you with this, you can like tell me again that I'm not telling you the truth or anything.
And so Vasya showed you those photos?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and this was like for 10 seconds he just scrolled down, like he didn't open them, but he scrolled down and he showed me like, look, I trust you with this, don't tell anyone, you're the only one who knows, and if I trust you with this, you can trust me that what I'm telling you is the truth and no one is saying anything.
Okay.
So that seems fair.
And what were the photos?
He took photos of a girl's like backpack.
Where was she?
I know.
Like with a covered ass.
Yeah, covered.
Okay, so like she's bending over in class or something.
Yeah, something like this.
Okay.
I remember one of the photos I think was in a science classroom, and the others I don't really remember. But that's what I remember. And he told me it was happened in MIP5, so way before I got to know about it. But he told me don't tell anyone, and no one knows about it. So that was okay. Right, I'm the only one who knows. There's no way anyone else will know about this, right? Yeah. And a few weeks later, so people started to like, that thing wasn't that obvious, that people are ignoring me or acting really like strange without a reason. So that seemed to go like a bit backwards, so it was better, like a tiny bit, but you could see that maybe whatever Yari or someone else said, people realized it's probably not true. But soon after, this thing came back again, and like really strong. And again, I had no idea, so I was starting to ask more people now, because it's been already a while, and obviously something happened. And everyone told me the exact same thing. Nothing happened. I don't know what you're talking about. And then Vasya also stopped hanging out with me, and it was something really obvious because I used to, like, we met every single day almost. So there's something happened, like something really clear. And what I thought at the time, I was like, okay, someone else said something, and maybe he believed it, and I don't see why, but okay. And after a while, so I realized people are kind of trying to let me know that I did these photos, because he also told me something a few weeks after he showed me that. He told me I realized I'm telling people too much stuff, and I shouldn't, and something like this. And then he just went away, and I was like, okay. Then a few weeks later, I was like, okay, there's something you told me, and people got to know about it. And I was thinking about that, but it was impossible because I was the only one who knew, right? So I was thinking about that, and I was talking to him, and he told me the exact same thing. No, what are you talking about? This, it's nothing. And then it kept going like this, and a lot of people, like not one or two people, kind of let me know that that I'm part of this thing. And
how do you mean they let you know?
They could do something really obvious, like this girl, for example, and it's only her, not anyone else, right? Like she sent me some Snapchats which relate to that, right?
So she'd send you a Snapchat of someone's bum?
Not exactly, but for example, if we're taking a photo or something like this, I can show you, I have two of them, but
Yeah, let's see.
but there are a lot more. But on Snapchat it disappears, so
you screenshot
you have to screenshot it to keep it, otherwise it disappears. Yeah, so this is one of them. For example, like these photos, yeah, you
Sorry, it's just glare from that.
yeah. So basically, there's not many things you can do with these photos.
Okay, so that is that the girl?
Yeah, yeah.
And who sent you the picture? Who sent you this picture?
Like she sent it.
She herself did.
Yeah, like you can if you send it like this.
Yeah.
And there's a timer
Mm-hmm.
on Snapchat.
I see.
It's from one person, but it doesn't show you the name because it shows you that she sent it and you open it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, so she sent me this, and like there's on our, it kind of related to that because what can you do with a picture like that, right? And there's the other one, I think, yeah, this one. Also the same.
So just glare. And who did she send it to? Just you?
Yeah, this was sent to me. I don't know if she sent it to anyone else, but she sent it to me because I can see it. But and there's a lot of other stuff, like not things that if it was only this, like she sending me this too,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't think anything because it's okay. She send me two Snapchats, but also other people. For example, yeah, there was a group, a school project. I think YSC, right? It's not group project, but it's like we're doing a project in the YSC, right?
Mm-hmm.
And about the same time, or a bit before, someone simply changed the name of the group to YSC, and the S was like ASS, right? And this also, I think it's pretty obvious because none of that any other people that could possibly be involved in this were in that YSC group, right? And a lot of people already kind of showed me this like silence, I don't know how to call them, that I'm involved in this. And then I start asking questions, and I went to Vasya first, no one else, and I asked, okay, yeah, remember that thing that happened in autumn and everything? And he told me that okay, people knew about it in MIP5 when he took those photos.
And you said other people did know?
Yeah,
okay.
But that was after. First time he told me no one knew about it except me. So that doesn't make sense. And after he said me that, he told me that, I kept asking him, I sent him messages. So if there are messages, they're recorded. So I can prove that it was me if he said that. And on the messages, first he didn't send me anything. He just talked to me. He was like, okay, look, stop with this. You're making too much.
You're making this a big deal.
Yeah, a big deal is nothing. And I explained him why I think he did that and everything, and it makes sense because he didn't talk to me about it when there were other people around, only when we were us two, right? So then I started asking some other people who he said they knew from the year before, and they told me the exact same thing. He told me, okay, we know he did it, but that's it. And that didn't make sense because everyone made it really obvious, like really obvious that I'm somehow part of that, right? So then I went to talk to this girl, to Sophie, and
that's this one, this girl. This is Sophie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to talk to her, and like she was visibly angry, right? Like really, really pissed off, right?
With you.
Yeah. Before I told her anything, and I explained her that someone did something bad, and someone took a photo of her, and before mentioning names, she knew that was something with Vasya's group, right? So she told me that someone in Vasya's group or some people in Vasya's group were sending those photos, and she heard that before, but she didn't really pay attention to it because it was just like a rumor. And now that I told her that someone did that, and I think someone blamed it on me, she wanted to know more. But it doesn't make sense either because all the other people's reaction and her reaction as well, right? Before I ever talked to her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, don't match with that because she said, oh, I heard it once, no one mentioned it again, and now you're telling it to me again. But it doesn't match with everyone's reaction.
Mm-hmm.
So then I start talking to all the people that could possibly be in Vasya's group and asked them about that, even if they were supposed to know or not about it. And absolutely everyone told me the same thing. Either they don't know, either they know Vasya did it, and that's it. And that again doesn't make any sense because like I know what I saw, I know what how people reacted okay, to this, and like I wouldn't, since he told me not to tell anyone, I wouldn't have gone to this girl to Sophie to tell her that okay, I think someone blamed me on this because then if actually no one said anything, then like Vasa would, you get my point, right? Because he told me not to tell anyone, and I'm telling the exact person who this was about, right? So then this doesn't make sense because she said that okay, it was him, and it doesn't make sense since everyone, including her, tried to like everyone was pissed at me or had the bad reaction towards me, and it was clearly because of this. And now him, like Vasya and Sophie, they both tell me that like okay, you're not involved, just forget about it. And everyone in Vasya's group told me the same thing, but also other people who are not related just either didn't want to talk about it or just like okay, I don't know about that. But still, that's what they tell me. But then the reaction is still pretty clear, and I'm not imagining anything that nobody see, right? And it was so obvious that like right now I'm really confused because I know there's something happened. Maybe in the end he messaged me. So after I talked to Sophie, he messaged me and he told me that okay, don't worry about that. You didn't take those, and I'm not blaming you for that. So stop with that. And one of his friends also told me the same thing, but then something still happened, and it's related to this, and it has to be something. Cause even now, some people still did this, had the same reaction, right? And this happened long ago. So,
can you describe to me more what you mean about this reaction? What reaction do you see?
Okay, for example, I told you that thing when some people changed the name of the group, right?
But it explains to me, because I didn't quite understand that. So the YSE thing, why is that a sign? Why?
Because why would they do that without any reason at all? And in the same time when everyone was doing this?
I'm not sure if I understand why it's a significant thing. Like,
it's not by itself. It's not by itself. It's nothing.
Just because I mean, like, people could all have worn. If people had worn a blue shirt that day, would you have said, why did they all wear blue shirts?
No, exactly.
So I'm not sure. So like, is there something else behind the YSE thing? Did it mean something before?
No.
Or?
Well, what do you mean?
So if I understand you, there are three letters: Y, S, E, and then they changed it on the group to Y, E, S, S, E.
No, Y, A, S, I see.
Yes, E. So
I'm gonna show you. Alright.
Okay, so this is youth social entrepreneurship, and they changed it to? Oh, I see.
Okay.
Oh, I see.
Okay. This is absolutely no reason. So.
Okay.
And since it happened in the same time with everything else, it's like with those snaps.
I understand with the S. Okay, I see you now.
Again, it's stuff like this, and a lot of stuff like this. Not only this, but even this by itself doesn't mean much, right? And a lot of stuff like this, like, and I'm not sure how to explain it, but there were so many things like this, and if it would be, for example, to Vasya, right, because he was the one who did that, it should be towards him. It doesn't make sense why people be pissed at me and let me know like stuff like this if I'm not involved in that thing, right? And he also told me that okay, people know I did that. That's what he said. Like people know he did that, and people are not pissed at him, and it's perfectly fine. And since it's not an okay thing, and some people should be pissed at him because of that, especially Sophie, because she's like it's a okay. No one, absolutely no one is pissed at him, but everyone is pissed at me without me doing anything, and he agrees with that, and it doesn't make sense. Why?
So he agrees that people are pissed at you?
No, she didn't say that. He said that no one is pissed at me, no one is pissed at him, or he did that, and people know he did that, and just forget about it. And that's...
Okay, so what tell me if I've got this right. You've said a lot, and I'm going to make it very simple, even though I know it's not simple, right? So I'm just making it simple for the big picture.
Okay, yes.
So what you're saying is, there's an event where someone did something wrong,
okay,
and you were worried that people thought that it was you,
Okay. Yeah.
And the whole time, the message you've been given officially is, no, they know it's not you, they know it's this other guy. But what you've seen in other people's responses makes you think that they do think it was you.
Yes.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so everyone denies it.
Not
you are
everyone, because
seeing those
I didn't ask everyone. I asked a few people because there's not really a way. For example, in that YSC group, there are people who I don't really know that much. So it's kind of not that I don't feel comfortable just asking this because
and it wouldn't be very helpful. I mean, if you went to every person in the school, it wouldn't be a good thing. Right?
Yeah,
So it wouldn't help.
Especially because people told me I didn't do that. So in a way, it just should be that, and that's it.
Yeah.
End of story.
Yeah, I get
but
that.
I know it's not that, and the fact that he told me I didn't do that, but people are still pissed at me, makes me think he involved me in that thing somehow. For example, what Sophie said people sending those pictures, right? So it's not taking them, it's sending them. But I also asked her, okay, I told her really clearly, I never had them, I never sent them, never, like, not involved in that thing, I only seen them once. And I didn't ask to see them, he just showed it to me. And she agreed with everything, which doesn't make sense, because if, like, 5 months, everyone is pissed at me, and including her, and really clearly, it's not just, like, it's obviously, then she just say, okay, it's cool, just forget about it. And both of them told me, okay, forget about it, just forget about it. There's nothing. It was a long time ago, and you're not involved. Just forget it. And the reaction right now is not that it's obvious because it happened a long time ago, but people are still doing it from time to time, and it's there, so I can't ignore it. And I know how it was before, when it was really obviously everyone was doing something related to that, and it was towards me because I could see that.
Okay.
So now, yeah, it's quite a problem.
Okay, so I appreciate that you're honest with me, so I'm going to be honest with you, okay? So I'm going to tell you my full thought process, okay? So the different questions that I've got to answer in my head, okay? So the first possibility is that there's some people who are angry at you and it's unpleasant, that they believe something is not true and them doing it. That's a possibility.
Yeah.
Another possibility is that from the very beginning, people like us here have been playing a trick on you. You know, so that's a possibility, that they've been part of it. That's still a possibility.
What do you mean playing a trick?
So like they're talking and they've got their little friendship thing and they are making you feel uncomfortable. It's possible.
That would make sense if it would be a small group of people.
Yeah, but not a big group.
Not the whole school.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that these are all equally likely. I'm just saying what are the options. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
Another option is maybe before what you were reading was right, that they were angry, but now they're not angry, but you still sometimes feel that they are, so you see things differently. It's possible.
Okay. Another thing that people are angry, because what I've seen clearly that this girl, she was angry, and it makes sense because that thing is not okay, right? Some other people were also angry, but mostly it's like the reaction they had, it was like I would have done that, and then I would have blamed it on Vasya. That's the way I saw it. I saw it as he said that I did it, and then I told people that it was him, and at one point I thought that he somehow people got to know about it. He thought it was me, so he just blamed everything on me. And since he said he didn't do that, and a lot of other people, but mainly his friends said that. Okay, it makes sense. His friends said that they probably helping him. But then why would Sophie say that? Because if she was angry with me and I say I didn't do anything, she would say, okay, what I heard is you did this, so did you do it? I said no. Okay, then solve things. But she said, okay, I don't know anything, and I heard this for the first time after I heard about it at the beginning of the year, and I never thought about it. I just told it to me now, so I want to know more. But it's not true, because I don't have evidence that it's not true, but I know what I've seen. I know the people. I know, how. So.
Okay. am I right in my understanding that everybody else is saying, we must drop this?
Not everybody is saying this, but Vasya is saying this, Sophie is saying this, and a few of Vasya's close friends, like they all said,
So,
so they mainly said that their main point was forget about it. So I would get why Vasya would want me to forget about it, because if he said something about me, he would want me to not talk about it. I would get also why his friends would say that, his close friends, right? I wouldn't get why Sophie would say that, though, because...
Well, she'll be embarrassed, right?
Yeah.
If I was her, I wouldn't want to keep talking about my ass.
No, I know, but that's not the thing, because if people already knew about it, that someone did this, right? It wouldn't change the situation if they would know that it wasn't this person who did it, but it was someone else. It would just change the person who did it.
But you wouldn't want to talk about it over and over again.
No, exactly, but that's the thing. I only asked her in the beginning, right, and Vasya, right? And since they both told me the same thing and it didn't make any sense, then I talked to more people, right? And I started asking people around.
Okay.
And there is definitely something wrong with this. I'm not sure what, but there is this. Okay, my point is that somehow their Vasya, either most likely Vasya or one of his friends, somehow involved me in this thing. And I don't see how, since he said it, he sent me a message about it in the end saying, okay, you didn't do this. But then what happened?
Okay.
But something happened and it's obvious.
Okay, so I'm seeing two possibilities now that are standing out the most. Okay, so, to eliminate the one possibility, can you think of a time in your life, other than this, where you have felt that there's something else going on that you don't know about, or you felt that people are judging you, or that you are being persecuted or judged or something? Have you had something like that before?
I think we did.
Like this feeling that you have about, oh, people
yeah,
are
it might be a
stuff.
stupid example, but it kind of happened to me. It's a really stupid example. When I was small, for example, everyone, where I used to live before in Romania, the door is unlocked by like an electronic key. You scan it and the door unlocks, right? And it's an apartment block, and every single time when I would go out, my mom told me, okay, be back by 9 and never have the key with you, because we only have one, we will lose it, right? Because we already lost the copy. But it's a stupid example, but the way I felt like, okay, everyone else has it, and my mom doesn't trust me to have a stupid key with me, and it's a really stupid example, but it's kind of a similar feeling.
Similar sort of feeling about, like, stop judging me. I can take after the key card.
Yeah.
Stop judging me. I didn't take a photo.
Okay, maybe, yeah, kind of. Maybe it's not the best example, but it's the kind of
sort of thing.
Yeah, in a way.
Okay, let me ask a totally different question. Why are you talking to me?
Well, Marcus recommended me to this one. And the second, since I've talked to other people in the school already about this, Marcus told me to stop talking about it. Right? I kind of needed advice, and you seem to be, you're a psychologist, so you should be pretty used to these kind of cases. Maybe not these kind of cases, but like how to...
Social changes.
Yeah, what to do in these kind of situations, right? So maybe what I did wrong, I didn't ask people the right questions probably, because I didn't ask that many people. That's one thing. I only asked some people because I don't know how to ask these kind of questions to everyone, right? Because some people I'm comfortable with, some people not that much. So.
And is that why Marcus said to you, you must stop asking people?
No, Marcus told me, Sophie talked to him, and she told him, okay, now that's also really weird. She talked to him, she told him that the exact same thing she told me, so it should make sense, that Vasya did this once, and that's it. And I keep bringing it up for no reason at all. Okay, and then he talked to Vasya, and Vasya told him that he did it. this doesn't make sense, and I was the one bringing it up, and just to stop.
But why doesn't it make sense?
Because, again, from people's reaction, all those messages like this and everything, it made it, well, I don't know how to say it, was more powerful than some people, because I only asked a few people, telling me, okay, nothing going on. But the thing that the most doesn't make sense the most is that both Vasya and Sophie told me the same thing. It doesn't make sense, because if he said something bad about me related to that, and she was angry on me because of this reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
She wouldn't then tell me, okay, nothing happened, and then both talk to Marcus and tell him to nothing happened, and I'm just talking about it for no reason, and that doesn't make sense at all. Because I remember it's really clear people's reaction. Her reaction is really, really clear. And then both of them going to Marcus, telling him, okay, he's just bringing it up and for no reason, and it's annoying, so tell him to stop.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make sense. And basically what Marcus told me was to stop talking about this with people in the school, which again would be something good for Vasya in my opinion, but if he said something, talk to Marcus now, I can't talk to other people because he told me not to, it makes sense. But why would Sophie tell me to do the same thing? Right? Why would she want me to not know the truth? Because there was something going on about this.
Okay, so now, what you're describing and what you say makes no sense.
Yeah, I know.
It does make sense to me. But I think the reason why it makes sense to me is because the part that doesn't make sense to you, only you have seen. Right? So what you're saying is, it doesn't make sense because of how people have unofficially responded. Yeah?
Yes.
So there's like official communication, and then there's like interpreted unofficial communication.
Yes. Yeah.
The official stuff makes perfect sense from what you've told me. You're saying it doesn't make sense to you because it doesn't match with what you're observing unofficially. Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Now because I'm not you, I haven't seen that unofficial stuff. So what doesn't make sense to you does make sense to me.
Okay, I got to listen also just to make sure it's.
Sorry.
I saw it was 2, and I'm not sure 2 and what. Because at 2:15 I have.
2:15. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. No worries at all.
Yes.
So for me, my question is, there are 2 different realities right now. Okay, the one reality is the official reality, what people are overtly saying. You know what I mean? So they're speaking directly. This is what I believe. This is, so it's factual. And that reality, everyone else is on. Then there's another reality where you're saying, wait, that doesn't make sense because of what I've seen.
Yes.
Okay.
And there's one more thing.
Yeah.
Okay, since I told you before that thing with Thierry, right?
Sorry, say again?
That thing with Thierry?
With Thierry?
Yeah, at the beginning of the year. Not related to this, right?
Okay.
Okay, at one point I made, in my head, a list of people who I knew didn't like me, and people who potentially could, say something behind my back or be involved in something like this, right?
Why would you do that?
Just for me to know, who do that, because there was something going on back then. But it was back then. And then...
Whoa.
Yes, yeah.
Well, that's quite important, though.
Yes, I know, but it's not as important as this, because this is when people starting to have a way, worse reaction. This is important, but
it's also important because of how you see people.
Yes.
Okay, so sorry, please carry on.
So what was your question for the thing before?
No, sorry.
Before these pictures.
So sorry, so it's just the fact that they're 2 different things. And I'm saying, well, you've got a slightly different reality to other people, and I can't see what you saw, so I don't know how accurate it is. And then you started to tell me about something that happened when you wrote the list.
I didn't write any of this.
But in your head you wrote a list.
I just thought about people who, and the thing is, if these people talk to each other, right, and they say, okay, I said that, okay, you get my point, right?
Mm-hmm.
And also at the beginning when this happened, and I was still friends with Vasya, right?
Yeah.
I would talk mostly to him about this. And if he was against me before this picture thing happened, and he was actually talking behind my back or doing stuff without me knowing, and me telling him everything I saw, even if there are not a lot of people saying bad stuff about me, they knew exactly what I think, and they would help them a lot to say more stuff or do something bad, right? And this kind of makes sense, but then I don't see why Vasya would be friends with me for a year, like really good friends, and then out of nowhere just change and start like doing bad things to me, like these things with the pictures. And that's the only way I can connect like this thing that happened with Vasya with what happened before, and it makes sense in a way. But yeah.
I think I would like to see you again.
Sure.
Just because I don't understand. There's like being very direct with you because I will always be so direct.
So,
like
really good.
It feels to me like it's one of two things, or a little bit of both. Okay.
It's sorry. The way I see it, it's mainly this thing, but it's a little bit connected to the other thing if those people also know about what happened, and in a way you could make a big thing out of both, like being connected, but
but it's not necessarily helpful to make one story. I hear you, but now I feel it's suspicious that you may well be seeing things that are real.
But also imagining something.
But I have a suspicion that you're seeing it bigger than it is. But I don't know, right? This is one conversation. This is one conversation. So I'm not declaring it on a mountain. I'm saying, like, in conversation with you, like just at the beginning of the year, for you to be worried about who will speak shit about you.
I wouldn't. There's a thing. I start being worried after I seen like people changing. There was a thing when I started the year. I was like perfectly normal, absolutely nothing about anyone. Even though I knew, like for example, Yari said some stuff about me which weren't true last year. I didn't worry about that at all until I've seen that people again change reactions, right? Change the way they act, right? So then I start remembering, okay, what did he do again, or what happened?
Okay,
this
that makes sense. Out of interest, what did he say about you last year?
There was a party, and like very beginning of MIP5, and after the party I came like at the very end of the party, because I had the doctor appointment before, so, and I brought another present. They all brought the same present, right? And I told him before, okay, I'm not buying that, right? But your drinks, okay? And I brought something else. I brought it to the party. The drinks were almost over when I came, but I had a little bit, right? But a little bit when I came, and I didn't get drunk, just a little bit to taste, right? And next day, he told me, okay, you also like consumed, even though it was a little bit. Everyone paid me 10 euros. You paid me 10 euros as well. And I explained to him, okay, look, there was the present you gave him. I brought another present, so there was his present. That wasn't what you brought. It was what everyone brought. There was one thing, and the other thing I barely even tasted. So if I just like took like half a glass, you can tell me to pay 10 euros. I give you 2 euros if you want, or 3. It's not even 3 euros, but I can give you that. I'm not giving you more. So I gave him 2 euros, and after that he started telling everyone how I stole money from him and I didn't give it back, and that really pissed me off back then. And this year I heard about him saying this again. So in the end
And how did you hear him saying that again?
Some people told me. For example, Vasya told me, but that's not sure because what happened after with Vasya is he might also lied. But I don't see why he would lie at the very beginning, because he had no reason. Some other people told me last year about that, and when I talked to him, he told me, okay, I said that a few weeks after the party last year, but never mentioned it again. He apologized for it, but not okay, because I know he said it last year at the end of the year. So that's for sure not true. And some people told me they heard it this year as well in DP1. But there was one thing, and it's not that, like, I told people it's not true. Like some people, I didn't talk to everyone, but the people I talked about this, I told them he's lying. But it's one thing, and that one thing couldn't make such a big thing to everyone, right? It couldn't make everyone just have a bad reaction, or some people hate me for this little thing he said. So he either said more, either some other people said more, either Vasya said something too. So, and there was one more thing. When I started talking to Vasya about these photos again, because there was like kind of a few months which I didn't mention it because I was like, okay, it's not possible, it can be. And when I realized, okay, it has to be this, okay, I started talking to him. And at one point, when after I talked to Sophie and I talked to a few more people, I don't know how to explain this even more, but you know, when a small kid does something, and then you can see in their eyes that they're scared and they wait for you to not realize. Yeah, I kind of saw that look at him and a few other people. Doesn't mean anything, but to me it means that okay, he did something.
Yeah.
I know he did something. That's one thing. I'm not sure what, but I know he did something.
You look guilty.
Yeah, I do the guilty look, kind of.
Okay. Okay. You need to go. It's 14:12.
14:12, yeah.
And your thing is 14:15.
Oh, 14:15 it starts, yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, yeah, it's 14:20 it starts because it
14:20.
finishes. No, it's 55 minutes. Yeah, it starts at 20 past.
Okay. So, can I see you this time next week?
Oh yes, sure, but
Because you are writing exams, though. Writing exams.
Oh wait, yeah. Should I check my schedule? Now?
Is it okay? Do you know? Do you have your schedule there?
Yeah, I do. It's on my email. I think I'll have a biology exam this time.
Okay.
Next week. But
Well, do it. Let's talk over email. I'll send you an email and I'll say, hey, when you're free and we can make a time.
Do you have any frees this week as well?
On Friday I do.
Friday. I think if it's no problem for you, I think it's better if we talk sooner.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, school is kind of over, and this thing I would just want to solve it and get rid of it this year.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Send emails. All try for Friday.
Yes. Okay.
Well, I see.
Well, yes.
The first time I ever saw you was playing Foursquare.
Yeah.
And then
Same with me.
And then I've seen you twice since then in school, just around the corner, and it's nice to be able to talk. Nice to meet you.
Okay.
Seem like a good guy. Good luck with the next thing, right?
Yes, sir.
Enjoy it. You have your phone, have everything?
Oh, yeah, my bag.
Thanks, bro. Back to work, babes. Cheers.
So that went okay with Simon?
Yeah, we talked about it. He told me his opinion really shortly because I have a lesson. So
Yeah, mate.
But yeah, I still have the same opinion because when I talked to you, so there is something advice I did or someone did which involved in that thing. I still have the same opinion. I'll talk to him again.
But yeah, I mean, did it help to have that conversation with Simon in terms of just having another perspective and broadening it to somebody who's going to be very considerate, understanding, because having a third person really can help, right?
Yeah, it maybe helped me to see a few more points of view,
Yeah.
but my main point stays the same. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. All right. And so when are you meeting with Simon again?
So
When do you meet with Simon again?
I'm not sure. I will meet him. I will talk to him.
Okay. All right, cool. And how long did you meet with him for? For the hour or?
For since 20 past, still 5 minutes ago.
Oh, okay. So you just did it now.
Yes, right now. Yes.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, I'm glad you did, and he'll get in contact with you and let you know. But remember, anything that's said with Simon is private, right? Like that's completely confidential and private.
Yes.
Yeah. So you've got that privacy protection around you,
Yes.
and so that's nice to have that, and then to have somebody who's removed from your own personal situation as well. So you'll get that opportunity to have a chat with him again. How's everything going with you? How was that IA like?
The I had.
Yeah, the practice
So yeah, it was okay.
was okay.
Yeah.
And how's it with your group?
We had the thing with the tents. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. August went to sleep with Maxine, so I slept with Ellen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you moved as well. You moved to Don't worry, we all know. It doesn't involve you, but we know about
The tent. Alright.
We know about the incident with Hannah and.
Really, which one?
Oh, you're talking about the changing of your tents.
No. What incident?
Oh, the incident that happened. Yeah, there was an incident between two students,
Wait. Who and who?
a male and a female.
Wait, nothing to do with me. Right?
No, it's
Okay. That's everything was.
nothing to
Alright.
do with you.
Okay.
Lots of things happen here, Paul, that have nothing to do
Okay,
with
no, I
you.
was like, okay, there's another thing which I don't know about.
No. There's lots of that's the thing, right? Lots of things happen here. Lots of things happen here that have absolutely nothing to do with me and have nothing to do with you a lot of the time as well. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's something healthy to always remember, because when we start getting stressed, we start thinking, everything in our environment, everything around us is always to do with us. Sometimes it is, but a lot of the time it's not as well.
Yeah, no, we were talking about the tent.
Just
When you said an incident, I was like, okay, what's this?
No, because you move tents. Yeah, no, this is a separate. Because in the incident, students move tents at night time.
Okay. So you don't know who the students are?
No idea. Yeah,
You did.
I do.
Okay.
But you don't have to worry about it.
Alright. Okay.
It didn't involve you at all.
Alright.
Yeah, but you weren't aware of it.
Not really.
No, you weren't aware at all of what happened.
And I think I heard something happen, but I wasn't sure what. So
Okay.
I don't know.
Involving August, right?
I don't know. I think that August was this with the tent. With me. He wanted to speak with Max. But
Okay.
yeah, I think I heard something happen, but I wasn't sure what.
Okay, well, we know about that, so you don't need to worry. Yeah.
Okay, yes, alright.
So, main thing is, I'm going to come on the expedition as well.
The final one.
Yeah, I'm coming to the lakes.
Okay.
I organised that at the beginning of the year. But let me know if everything's going okay. What about with the girls?
Michael.
Yeah.
Yes, it's okay, I think.
Good. So who were the girls again?
Stanley, Mira, and Mira and Basha.
Okay. So in your group, you feel comfortable?
I'm okay, yes. I don't know when you were there that well, but I'm okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't feel uncomfortable in that group at all?
It,
Like with these other issues that you've been dealing with, like with Vasir and these relationships?
This still say the same.
Yeah.
So the same problem, and
But you stopped speaking with Aunt Sophie about...
yeah, no, I didn't talk for once.
Perfect. Okay, let's just keep it like that, yeah. And, okay. Cool. And, yeah, just try to separate, like, at least try to separate the relationships part. So,
Wait, what relationships?
so like, don't allow some of the feelings you have about Basia or feelings you have about some of these other students to then creep into how you feel about, you know, like the group that you're in for your IA. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, so this problem with Basia, for example,
Yeah, don't let it start impacting on all your
other stuff.
all your relationships with everybody.
Yeah, it makes sense, but there's still something I need to solve, and I'm aware that there's something going on. Maybe I think it's most likely related to these pictures, but if it's not, there's still something, and it has to be quite a big thing. So I'm okay, I won't talk to Sophie about this, but I still have to find out what happened, even if it's not related to those photos.
The best thing to do is speak with adults, right? Not to
But this thing happens
Because we help
between
solve-
students, so
Because we help solve I know the thing happened between students with the pictures, but who was the one who was able to solve it? We were, right?
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. We solved that situation with the pictures, and we've now started to close that situation with the pictures.
Yes.
Yeah. And so that's good for you, that's good for everybody. Alright? So when it comes to solving these things, the best people you can go to is us, because we're not emotionally involved. We will understand, you know, if these things are happening, then we will understand perhaps why they're happening.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, that's
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Alright, thanks, Paul. See you later. Take it easy. Friday.
You're still playing?
Yeah.